is where Thandi was last tracks of her and the cub were. Maybe James and Herbie are onto a good wicket and they might find another leopard. But Hukumuri all of a sudden went up onto this termite mound and he's now just stopped and is listening and watching and just trying to kind of work something out. I don't know if he heard those alarm calls the same as we did, but he was kind of walking down the road, all of a sudden stopped, made a beeline for this termite mound and then went up onto it on the side where there's a bit of vegetation. So it's a perfect place where he can kind of just have a little bit of a look and still camouflage quite well in the shade and in amongst the vegetation. Now, some of you who are very clever at the way that you do things and maybe have some screenshots might be able to get a nice size comparison between Thandi's cub a few months ago and Hukumuri, because both of them have been on this particular mound. And so I think Thandi's little one went exactly where Hukumuri is now and sat exactly there. So if you can maybe superimpose, if somebody does have screenshots from that day, it was quite a while ago. I think it was in January, if I'm not mistaken, or end of December, when she was on top of that little mound, and maybe we can just kind of get a size comparison between the two of them. But you can see he's as wild-eyed as he ever is. That's part of the reason why I like him. He's got this look about him that you never know what's really going to happen. It seems as though he's kind of looking around and expecting something to kind of kick off at any point. And like I was saying just now as well, is that he seems to be a leopard that is not going to lie down for anybody. He's stood up against the biggest now, so we don't know if he's had an altercation with Tingana, but seemingly he's kind of pushed Tingana out a little bit, and we've seen him stand up to Anderson, Gajima, and so he, even though he's not the biggest leopard in the world, he's obviously got something about him that allows him to kind of stand up to these mega boys that we see out in this northern Sabi Sand area. You can see a couple cuts and scrapes, and that's all going to have stood him in good stead. VM and I have discussed this quite often, because you know VM and I are leopard crazy, and we reckon that he's probably gone through quite a few different sort of areas and fought with different males, and probably has a lot more experience than most of our males in this area in terms of being able to fight and to being able to kind of get away with it. So he's going to be an interesting character, and this is deep into Djuma now. He's right in the central parts of Djuma and seemingly looking quite confident the way that he's walking through. The problem is where he's heading now is going to be very, very, very difficult for us to follow him. Hopefully he decides to kind of turn a little bit. There's a little two-track there, and I'm hoping that if he turns on that two-track, we'll be able to kind of get him. Ooh, which way is he going to go? I see he's just kind of going back that way there. Safari Haze, I hope so as well. I hope that he doesn't find the two of them, and hopefully with Thandi being where she was this morning, I believe she was seen on Torchwood, that maybe, just maybe, she's taken that cub that side as well, and maybe heard Hukumuri coming during the night and has taken her little one far, far away. She seems to be one step ahead of him most of the time at the moment, but that doesn't always last. Oh, look at that. How cool is that? That's very cool. I love it when leopards do that, when they kind of go onto their back legs and they just kind of spring up. And the fact that he turned perfectly into that golden sun is absolutely the best way to see a leopard do that. Now he's got his tail up and just kind of showing that he is indeed a boy. And off we go again. But he's very alert as to what's going on. I wonder if he's maybe sniffed something. The breeze is coming from sort of his nose to his tail, so it's kind of blowing into him at the moment, which means that he might be picking up some sort of scent as he's walking there. I just want to reposition a little bit, because where he's heading is quite difficult and quite thick and not easy to negotiate. So I just want to get the car turned around and hope that he's going to come towards the road. Or is he going to lie down there? I think he's going to lie down, VM. Maybe let's get ourselves into a better position here. Yes, he's going to lie down. All right, well, that's good news. Lying down is not the worst thing. I was a bit worried about that, because if he goes straight from the direction he's heading, it's going to be really difficult to be able to follow him. Good. Now, while we embrace this heavy-scented popcorn air as we drive past where he just scent marked, let's send you across to Steve so he can say good afternoon to all of you.